I'm gonna guess that a lot of people who are gonna stumble across this video are probably going to be Blaire White fans that have sort of stumbled across this video because right now there's a lot of drama surrounding Blaire White, and Blaire White is getting a lot of heat. So, Blaire White has always been a liar. Okay? There has not been a single video by Blaire White that I've covered where she hasn't outright lied. In fact, lied so egregiously that she'll show a source on screen and the text will just kind of conveniently cut off somewhere. Like well into a paragraph or something. So I'll go to that page on stream in front of everybody and I'll read past where that text cuts off, and the sources that she will cite will disprove all of her arguments. This has happened constantly. Every time I cover a Blaire White video, she'll just outright lie. But most people, and I think this is fair, aren't going to put in the time and energy to look into this and, be like, oh, I caught that one. I'm gonna go ahead and fact check that to make sure it's true. Most people don't do that. You can't really expect that of most people. But recently, and by recently I mean 3 fucking weeks ago, Blaire White put out a video about a trans woman who is a bodybuilder, weightlifting champion named Janae. And you see, Janae is very beefy. She is a very beefy girl. Okay, very well exercised. Very toned body. Amazing. Honestly, awesome. Love that. All my muscular girl lovers in chat probably want their heads crushed like a watermelon between her thighs. But, and that is how I want to die, being crushed by a girl's thighs. I think we all agree on that. However, she has made it very, very clear, abundantly clear, constantly, at every turn, that despite transitioning, she personally does not find it appropriate to compete against women. She prefers to compete against men, which is fine. She's clearly said that it is her choice and that is her preference. Other trans people are allowed to have whatever opinion about what they want to do at all, and she completely respects those other people's opinions. She just personally prefers going against men and does not ever intend to go to compete against women. So Blaire, being a liar who constantly has to produce a flood of content to satisfy her transphobic fan base, decided to make a video about Janae, in which almost the entirety of the video is her saying she wants to compete against women, and this is bad. I mean, and then Blaire White goes off saying, I mean, look at her. Who looks like that? You can't really expect it'll be fair for her to compete against women. And basically told her entire audience, this video got, I think this video got nearly 1 million views. It was up for 3 weeks. This video got a lot of views. And basically, just went off about how Janae is trying to, weasel into, the fucking women's weightlifting so she can... Basically, it got, 500,000? Okay, cool. Basically doing the whole trans women are trying to get into women's sports and fuck them over and everything. The problem with this is, and Blaire lies a lot, okay? Blaire White's done this before, constantly. She does it all the time. Rarely is there a Blaire White video where she doesn't lie like this on stream. But this time, she's actually getting a lot from it, because usually the only people who go after Blaire White for misinformation on this stuff are lefties, right? People who are really into the trans community, people who are really left-leaning, general YouTube, and most people around the, content creator community rarely, if ever, call out Blaire White for anything. She's managed to skirt by very well, despite being such a dishonest figure. But problem is, Janae saw the video. And as with any trans person Blaire White makes a video on, received a lot of hate. Janae received an insane amount of hate. And so, Janae responded to Blaire White's video with a comment, which got a lot of upvotes, a lot of likes, and it's now at it was at the top of the thing, explaining that all of it was misinformation. She has stated definitively that she will not ever compete against women, and that all of her championships and prizes, all the stuff she's ever won, the record she set has always been with the in the men's division for weightlifting. Yeah. So this caused some controversy. Blaire was notified on Twitter by thousands of people. Blaire was notified on YouTube by thousands of people, including Janae. She was also notified on Instagram by thousands of people, including Janae, for 3 weeks. This drama has been going on for 3 weeks, and Blaire stayed radio silent. Because Blaire lies a lot. Blaire does this all the time. It's her grift. She lies constantly. She does it all the time. But this time, it was such an egregious lie, and the evidence was so available to everybody without actually having to look for it. It was as simple as scrolling down to the top comment or going on Twitter and being in a community aware of Blaire White that people found out about it. And they weren't happy. They really, really weren't. You guys want to see something hilarious? Blaire White Social Blade. Let's take a look at Blaire White's Social Blade. You guys would be aware that she hit 1 million subs recently. Contra got there first, by the way. But... Whew. She was at 1 million on Monday. The drama started to spread around a bit. She lost 1,000. 2 days later, lost 1,000. 2 days later, lost 1,000. And now that the drama is at its peak, she has consistently been losing about 1,000 subs per day. And then she deleted the video and issued a fake apology, which we'll go over in a minute. She deleted the video after 3 weeks of it being up. She was aware of all the drama and the fact that she'd lied, or at the very least, if we're being as charitable as we can to her, which we shouldn't. Blaire White has always been a liar, and will continue to be one. She'll do this in the future. She's a liar. She wanted to wait it out. She thought she could ride it out, people would forget, and she could just continue doing what she wanted. But she finally deleted it after 3 weeks. Janae accepted her apology, though. Yeah, of course she did. Like, Janae seems pretty nice. But she has lost nearly 10,000 subs from this. Will she probably, recover? Yeah, probably. But when it comes to YouTube figures like this, it takes one controversy to sow dissent in the community. Most of the time when I make videos on Blaire White, I get comments from a ton of her fans saying, Blaire can't be transphobic. She's a trans woman. How could you insult Blaire? Blaire White fans are some of the most sycophantic white knight simps you could ever fucking imagine for her, okay? I can safely say. But now there is a definitive example of Blaire White lying. It's really hard to claim she just messed up when she kept the video up and ignored everybody for 3 weeks. And even in the video that she showed an image on screen of an Instagram post of Janae flexing, and then she cut off the comments where the top comment was a pinned comment on the Instagram post from Janae explaining that she will never compete against women and never has. Blaire White blocked it off on purpose. Let's go over another definitive example of Blaire White just outright lying. Oh, actually, first, let's look at how many people are talking about this. Let's just search Blaire White. I specifically searched Bo Blacks here, but the first few that come up are Blaire White videos, but Blaire White by Sam Collins, almost 500,000 views. My stream, Bo Blacks' video, Hunter Avalon's video, Creepshow Art. Blaire White has a lying problem, 143k subs. Omegon, Blaire White is wrong, 6 days ago, 41k views, Blaire White's big mistake by Adam McIntyre, whoever this person, Blaire White's lies, sloppy research and questionable apology, drama explained, Don't know why this came up. Samantha Lux, Blaire White lied about J.K. Rowling's troubled blood. So this is getting called out for lying again. Like, yeah, Blaire White's been getting shit from everybody. Like, not just political and like lefty YouTube. Blaire White's getting shit on by the drama YouTubers because of how egregious this lying was. But I want to make it clear, if you're like a non-political person who's heard of Blaire White because of this drama, or you're a Blaire White fan who's like, holy shit, Blaire White fucking lied. What the fuck? And you don't believe me that she does this all the time? I'm going to show you another example in which she outright lies. Wait, let's go ahead. This is one of my favorite examples because I just remember how fucking funny it was when we debunked it on stream. It was really, really funny. Let's see, where is it? Blaire White trans period. I think this was it. No, this is the video. That didn't age well. Ooh! Blaire White, friends with Shane Dawson. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, is this the video? I can't tell. Is this it? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yep, here it is. All right, this is one of my favorite Blaire White lies ever.
At the old age that she did. And honestly, I can tell where the frustration lies. I feel like there is a certain set of experiences that women have that trans women do not have, and biological women don't want to feel like that's being erased or conflated necessarily. You know, I don't have the experience of growing up as an adolescent female. I don't have the experience of living a childhood as a girl. And I feel like those are very formative years that really shape who you are. And I think biological women see that. And honestly, while I don't agree with biological women attacking trans women and trying to make them feel like about—
Then why do you constantly give them ammo, Blaire? Like, this is what you do. You say, listen, I don't agree with biological women. TERFs. Say the word TERFs. I know you think it's like a bad word. They're TERFs, okay? The biological women that go after trans women and say that they aren't real and that they're just men trying to get into women's spaces and hurt them, those are TERFs. Just say it. I know you can't say it because TERFs love you for some reason because you constantly defend them. I mean, they don't actually love you. They think you're a freak. They think you're a freak. But you're one of the good ones to them. Just like you're one of the good ones to the Nazis and the alt-righters and whatnot that watch you. Because they like having a trans person who backs up all of their views so they can pretend that they're not transphobic. The TERFs love you. Just say the word. I know you think it's a slur, or at least a lot of your fans think it's a slur, but you can say it. Those are the people you're talking about. Don't be afraid to say the word. Unrelated, but still.
About them being trans, I do feel like there is a worthy conversation of saying that there are different experiences and we're allowed to talk about that. It's not bad to acknowledge that there's just differences. And honestly, there's a lot that we can learn from each other. And honestly, aside from that, what I think is a bit dangerous is when we blur the lines between science and medicine and medical care. Recently, the Canadian Cancer Society put up a website for transgender women and cervical cancer screening. Except there isn't a trans woman alive that has a cervix.
Blaire lied. And this is such an amazing example of her lying because she showed the site on screen as proof, or at least at the very least, as proof that trans women can't get cervical cancer. Look at where that cuts off. Look at where this screenshot cuts off. If you can see it right here. If you're a trans woman, you may not have put much thought to Pap tests and cervical cancer. And if you haven't, that makes a fair amount of sense. After all, in order to get cervical cancer, you need to have a cervix. That is the organ that connects the vagina to the uterus. If you're a trans woman and have not had bottom surgery, you aren't at risk of cervical cancer. And cuts off there, right? Okay, yeah, sure. All right. No more needed to be seen. But let's go to this website. Canadian Cancer Institute, cervical cancer, transgender. Here we are. All right, this isn't the one. Where is it? Canadian Cancer Society. Here it is. Here it is. All right, this is the wrong one. God damn it. Where is it? I'm trying to find the right one. Here? I had it saved a while back. Da linky? Trans women in cervical cancer screening. Canadian trans women and cervical cancer screening. Here it is. Found it. Here's the linky. Here is the exact page that Blaire White shows. Notice how on my normal aspect ratio screen, I can screenshot this entire thing. I can screenshot down to here. Blaire White deliberately zooms it in and cuts it off here. You can even see the lines around it because the aspect ratio is off because of where she cut it off. Specifically, cutting it off at the third paragraph. So this is Blaire White saying not a single trans woman alive has a cervix, and obviously there's no chance that a trans woman can get cervical cancer. Okay, if that was true, sure. As it turns out, the paragraph right after where she cuts it off says, if, however, you're a trans woman who has had bottom surgery to create a vagina, vaginoplasty, and possibly a cervix, yes, vaginoplasty can make you a cervix, there's a very small risk that you can develop cancer in the tissues of the neovagina or neocervix. The risk depends on the type of surgery you've had and the type of tissue used to create your vagina and cervix and your personal health history. Talk to your healthcare provider to figure out your specific cancer screening needs as part of your overall pelvic health following surgery. Guys, trans women who have a neocervix through a vaginoplasty can get cervical cancer. There's a Nazi in YouTube chat? There's always a Nazi in YouTube chat. We'll talk to him later, maybe. Yeah. She literally lied, and not only did she lie, but she deliberately cut out the Canadian Cancer Society.org or cancer.ca. This is a government-run website. This is like reputable. This is the fucking Canadian Cancer Society. She cut off the paragraph where it explains, oh yeah, by the way, trans women can get cervical cancer. So and she did the same thing with Janae. She did the exact same thing with Janae, where she cut off the Instagram post where Janae outright states that she will not, never has, and never intends to compete against women. And so she's done the exact same thing here. So either Blaire White is a fucking idiot, which is very possible and probably true, or she is a liar who constantly spreads misinformation to her audience. And this is harmful misinformation. How many trans people that watch Blaire White who've gotten bottom surgery do you think there are that watch this video? One of the 1.1 million people who watch this video, not only having come out of it being, misinformed, but not only that, are trans people who've gotten bottom surgery that have a chance of getting cervical cancer that now believe it is impossible for them to get cervical cancer and may now be in danger because they believe they don't need to get screened for it or talk to their medical professional about it because they believe that it's impossible. Because, not a single trans woman alive has ever had a cervix, except yes, there are. There is a surgery which builds a neocervix. I don't know if Blaire White thinks that, it's not a real cervix. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. It can still get cervical cancer. I don't know what to tell you. The cervix in real life is literally just like a fucking it's a pipe. It's a fleshy pipe that connects the vagina to the fucking uterus. Has no other function, okay? Whether it's made naturally through normal development or through surgery, it serves the exact same purpose and there's no difference. It's just a fleshy fucking pipe that connects the vagina to the uterus. This time I guess a uterus doesn't exist. I guess there can't, I don't know. But regardless, there's no functional difference between the two. So, yeah, she literally cut off the quote in the photo. She cut it off deliberately because we can look. We know that she was being dishonest because I'm using a normal aspect ratio 1080p monitor. This is a general monitor, and it is capable of capturing, even if you scroll all the way up, multiple paragraphs past where she cut it off. And yet she deliberately cut it off right here. She deliberately zoomed it in and cut it off right here. She's done this before. Now, don't take my word for it. Watch my other videos on Blaire White. Watch any other videos on Blaire White. She does this constantly. And generally, when she does this kind of thing, she's lying about other people. And when she does this, usually it results in her audience dogpiling the person that she lied about. So I want to make it very, very clear. Very clear. This is not the first time Blaire has lied, and it is not the last time. She does it all of the time, and she will not stop. Let's go to Blaire White's Twitter and look at her milquetoast shitty apology, huh? Blaire. Am I blocked by Blaire White? No, I'm not. Good. Good. All right. So on the 15th, a few days ago, she made an apology. 3 weeks after she put the video up, 3 weeks after she's been receiving nonstop criticism and requests to please take the video down and apologize for spreading misinformation, sending hate, and just overall being kind of a shit to Janae. We're gonna do a Blaire White impression. Hey everyone! In a recent video, I made an error of assuming and stating that a trans athlete named Janae competes against both men and women in her sport. As she made clear, that is false. Unlike many other trans athletes, by the way, gotta slip that in. Unlike many other trans athletes, you know, because you gotta shit on. She's gotta shit on trans people. She has to. It's like in FNAF 2, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, when you have like the music box that you have to wind up to make it so the marionette doesn't kill you instantly. It's like she has a little music box in her head and she has to keep it wound up, because if it winds out, she'll just like die. Like her brain will just shut off and she'll just collapse on the ground. She has to say something transphobic every 5 minutes, because if that box winds down, then she dies. It's true. It's true. I made the mistake, or for this and any other detail I got wrong about her story, I'm very sorry. After 3 weeks of not saying or doing anything and getting constant messages and being notified of this drama 3 weeks ago, it took me 3 weeks to take it down because I thought I could get away with it like I always do when I lie about shit like this. I made the mistake of not doing enough research and taking rumors about her at face value, which is something I complain about happening to me. I want to be very clear that this was a fuck up on my part, and I take full and total responsibility for any negativity that she's experienced because of that. Jessica. Yeah, this is really fucking disingenuous too, because she does this all the time. She was aware of it for a while, and if she actually fucking cared, she would have talked about it like way sooner, and she wouldn't just constantly lie anyway. She does this all the time. This isn't the first or last time she's done it. I also want to be clear that while many are running with the narrative that it was an intentional deception on my part, that's just not true. It was due to less than thorough research, nothing more and nothing less. Yes, because Blaire, when you showed that one Instagram post on screen to, the point she was trying to drill home was that that Janae doesn't have a woman's body, trying to show like the most muscular images of Janae, many of them being older pictures, because like the pictures of Janae that she shows in her video are not what Janae looks like now. Janae's still muscular and everything now, but obviously looks a lot more feminine now. The pictures that Blaire showed in her video were really early in transition, which is something Blaire tends to do. Generally, when Blaire has beef with a trans person, she only ever shows images of them early in transition. It's really strange how she does that, she wants to show the ones where they're still not quite passing so well, yeah. She's done this before. And in the post that she showed on screen, she she literally cuts it off where it says where it says I'm never gonna compete against women. Yeah, it's weird. She made a tucking video and misgenders people in the video. Yeah, she does it all the time. I reached out personally to apologize for the error and have deleted the video. I feel pretty terrible and have decided to take a break from social media and YouTube. The grind of doing content for almost 5 years and putting immense pressure on myself to constantly release things has resulted in me being sloppy with this last video, and I don't want to come back to YouTube doing videos until I can guarantee this type of mistake doesn't happen again. How much you want to bet? Here, this is what we're going to do. Next video that I cover from her, we're going to watch it, see if she cites any blatant misinformation. She does this all the time. She does. I've never watched a Blaire White video on stream where I haven't been able to, like, look up the source that Blaire cites when she's making a point and find out that the source that she cited disagrees with her conclusion and the point she's trying to make. It happens all the time. I hope everyone understands where I'm coming from with this, and once again, I offer my sincerest apology to Janae above everything else. I have also offered to send Janae the AdSense money I made on the video, and I'm awaiting her acceptance of that. It only seems fair. Well, that would be nice if she actually did that. Although, where's the AdSense money for all of the other literally hundreds of, like, 15-year-old trans and non-binary kids that you bullied on your channel and have sent hate to, lied about, showed, like, early or pre-transition pictures of in your videos as you insult them, and talk about how they're trans trenders or whatever that aren't actually trans or whatever, as you send your audience to go attack them. Where's their AdSense money? Because Blaire, a lot of your videos are basically predicated to shitting on other trans people. Where's their AdSense? They deserve some reparations, you know? Okay. These are good memes. These are real fucking good memes. Alright. As I said, though, Blaire lies all the time. There's nothing fucking surprising about it. This isn't new. So if you're a Blaire White fan, check out my other videos on Blaire White. You'd be surprised by how often she does this shit, okay? And I think this is fantastic. I think this is great. Everyone's starting to see Blaire for what she really is. And maybe it'll be the, maybe it's not the final Jenga block. You know, you ever played Jenga where you got to pull the bricks out of, like, the tower, and, you know, eventually you get one brick that just topples it off balance and it all comes crashing down? Well, this may not be the last or second or third brick or anything like that. It may just be the first brick. But it's the first brick. And the first brick is where you start. Okay? People are going to pay way more attention to Blaire White now. People know that she's not infallible. So, maybe this is the first Jenga brick. Maybe down the road we get another one, and another one, and eventually she gets associated. Her name will forever be associated with that of a liar who will spread blatant misinformation to her audience, send her audience to go attack people on false presuppositions and lies, and then she'll get called out for it. And eventually, no one will take her seriously. Maybe she'll become the new Onision, you know? You know how that happens? You know, you used to be respected, but you do so much bad shit that you end up being like the new Onision, you know, or an equivalent thereof. Maybe not to that degree, of course. Onision, I don't think anyone will really surpass Onision in terms of the entire internet hating them, but still, you know? Could happen. I think that would be very funny. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a sub. I'd appreciate it. Subscribing really helps. Love that. Liking the video also really helps because it means it gets to know more people. Even commenting on top of all of that helps, you know? Comment, even if it's a hate comment, it helps out. So, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next video.